Debuting on the PlayStation 4 as part of Sony's Pub Fun program, Axiom Verge is now on our favorite little handheld, the PlayStation Vita. Axiom Verge is a retro-styled action platformer with 16-bit graphics, and is heavily influenced by Metroid, Contra, and other classic titles. The game was created entirely by one indie developer, Tom Happ, with high hopes of creating a nostalgic-filled Metroidvania game, and to say the least, he succeeded. Axiom Verge looks fantastic and screams Metroid, thanks to the very similar environments. In no way is that a negative thing. If there's one thing the industry has been missing, it's a Metroidvania game that offers the same sense of isolation and mystique that the original Metroid did. Coming from someone who doesn't have a lot of old school sensibilities, I found Axiom Verge was surprisingly easy to grasp. Save spots are spaced apart incredibly well. In other words, dying doesn't make you want to throw your Vita. While traversing through areas, certain enemies are easier to kill with different weapons, creating a puzzle-like quality to Axiom Verge's gunplay. Also, you're constantly put into intense situations where you must choose your gun wisely. Axiom Verge is chock full of weapons and tools to discover, varying from basic blasters to weapons that require precisely timed attacks to take out enemies. And that just scratches the surface. With a total of 40 weapons and a whopping 60 upgrades throughout the campaign, there's enough content packed in this experience to ensure hours of satisfying gameplay. Now, I don't want to talk too much about unlocking items, because discovery is a huge part of Axiom Verge's appeal. However, I was always eager to discover the next weapon, and they never let me down. Axiom Verge comes packed with two different modes, story and speedrun. The story is a little underwhelming, but interesting nonetheless. You play as Trace, a scientist who has an experiment go wrong and sends him to an unknown world. And now he has to figure out how to escape the hellish place, all while unraveling secrets along the way. Side note, sound design is daunting and really adds to the isolated tone that the game sets. Speedrun mode is, of course, for all the serious speedrun players out there. A huge part of Axiom Verge's gameplay is the ability to manipulate the world with a device that literally allows you to glitch the game. It's an innovative new gameplay mechanic that I haven't seen done in many games before, and it's a lot of fun to use. The game's glitching tool allows various ways to complete objectives and make it through areas. Not only is it an integral part of making your way through the campaign, but you can find secrets in hidden sections of the game that normally wouldn't be accessible. It's innovative ideas like this that prove the indie scene is where the fresh ideas are brewing. For me, the highlight of Axiom Verge is undeniably the boss fights. Each boss is unique and there's multiple ways to kill them. It's up to you to figure out the easiest way possible. At first it'll seem impossible to take down an intimidating beast, then after a couple attempts you'll slowly learn the monster's routine and realize it's much easier than you originally thought. They are incredibly addicting to fight, and I couldn't set down my Vita until I finally defeated the beast. There are also a ton of enemy types, but until you learn their attacks and movement, you'll get hit a lot. For those of you who didn't know, in the PlayStation 4 version, whenever your player would get hit, he would disappear for some odd reason, and then you'd have to keep track of where you were at based on the buttons you were pressing. Well, I'm glad to say that in the Vita version, they fixed that, and your character will blink instead of disappearing completely. Axiom Verge is all that I'd hoped for and more, not only with its exceptional nostalgic gameplay, but its unique enemies and boss fights, variety of guns and tools, and new bold gameplay mechanics. It's so good and it feels right at home on the PlayStation Vita.